I wanted to make a video because I want this YouTube channel to be, I want it to be kind of open. I want to tell you guys what's going on in my life and everything, and so yeah, I just want to talk to you guys, and I don't know when, the part 1 of 100 questions nobody asks will come up. I'll upload it, because usually I upload everything right away, and then throughout the weeks I put them on public so everybody can see them. So I don't know when that's gonna be up for you guys to see, and when this will be up for you guys to see. But yesterday I was hanging out with my friend, as you can see, and we made a video, and we were both kind of down. One of his friends committed suicide, one of his close friends, and I didn't know him, and I feel like I want to make a video about it, because I want, the more I talk about it, the more I talk about things like this, the more I feel better about it, the more I feel like I'm getting it off my chest, the more I tell people the things that happened in my life that, you know. So I wanted to talk about this guy who committed suicide. He was the guy who I did the video with. His name was Tim. I don't know if we clarified our names at all. His name was Tim, and Tim's friend, he committed suicide. I didn't personally know him, the guy who committed suicide, but when you lose someone that you know, that you've had experiences with, whether it's your worst enemy or your best friend or a person that you don't really know, but you have seen them around and you have talked to them, you always feel empty when they're gone, when they die, especially when they die in something like this. And I didn't know him. We almost got into a knife fight once, and after that we were kind of cool. We had a mutual relationship. We knew we would nod at each other, when we saw each other, to like confirm, like, we're not gonna kill each other, we're not gonna beat each other up. And he used to work at the deli in town, and me and my dad would go in there sometimes, and he'd be working there, and he would talk to us. And I feel like since he met my dad and he actually talked to us, that maybe me and him actually could have had a chance to be friends, or at least be people who didn't want to kill each other, And he was really cool, and he always kept his promises to his friends. He always was there for them. And he always kept his word. If he said he was going to do something, he was going to do it. And I don't think he realized how many people he would be leaving behind, even a person like me, who I didn't really know him. I don't think he knew how hurt everyone would be, because I know he was probably thinking, and still thinking, like, nobody's gonna remember me after this. And even though after a few months, a lot of people will forget about him and will probably never think of him again. But for people like me, and for people like my friend Tim, and people like his friend, and the people that we hung out with, and his best friend, that, they're never gonna forget. And people like me, I'll probably forget in a few months. But every year, when the date comes around, I will think about him. And I know a lot of people that when this same time and every year comes around, they're gonna be hurting. and they're gonna want to hurt themselves. They're at a few years from now, whenever this time comes around, they're probably gonna be drinking themselves to death. They're probably gonna be doing drugs and stuff, because when somebody commits suicide, you feel like it's always your fault. Like, why didn't I do something? I saw them. Why didn't I say something? Why didn't I see it coming, you know? One of my friends, he's kind of beating himself up about it because he saw him that day and he saw that there was something wrong, but his teacher told him to stay where he was and not, you know, so he did. He listened to his teacher, and he's beating himself up now because he thinks that if he would have talked to him, he could have saved him. And I just keep telling him that if he was at school that morning for a couple of hours, and then he went home and shot himself. And I tell him that he probably knew that this was going to happen. That he probably went to school so everybody could see him for the last time. For him to see all of the people that he loves for the last time. And that if you probably asked him if he was okay or what's going on, he probably wouldn't have told you. He probably would have said he's fine. He was probably acting completely normal because he didn't want people to worry about him. He didn't want people to think that they should be worried. I feel like he was planning this. I feel like he just needed to go, even though I know he could have made it with the situation that he was going through. I know that he's just, I'm angry at him. I'm angry for what he did. He left all these people behind. My friends and the people that I don't even know just left behind, completely heartbroken. And I'm angry. I'm not even sad anymore. I've done my crying and now I'm angry. Because my friends will never, and the people that I know will never be the same again. Especially Tim, the guy that I did the video with. Just, I can't believe he did that. And I want you, the people who are watching this, that if you're thinking about committing suicide, you're leaving so many people behind. I'm a person on the outside that didn't even know him. I wasn't friends with him. But I still saw him, and I was still with him. Like, your enemies will still miss you. Your enemies will miss you. Your family will miss you. Your friends that you don't even think that are friends with you are gonna miss you. I've tried committing suicide before, and every time I would think about my family and the people that I had right now. What would happen if I left them? What would they do? And I know a lot of them would probably kill themselves or hurt themselves or drink themselves to death or take too much acid or speed. That's why I'm not saying any names. The guy Tim, who I did the video with, he doesn't do drugs at all. I do not do drugs, but some of the people that I know have done and do drugs. I do not do them with them, and whenever they talk about it, I tell them to fuck themselves. That I'm not doing that shit, and if they do it in front of me or take it out, then I'm gonna leave. That's exactly what I told them. So I just wanted to make that clear. And I know that if I left some of the people, if I would have killed myself at the time, then I wouldn't have the friends that I was with. I know that I wasn't friends with Tim for a long time, and I know if I would have killed myself, that if he found out, he would have hurt himself really, really badly. And I know that there's just some people that I know that still sort of talk to me, and these new people that I'm talking to, I would never know them. I would never talk to them. They would never have talked to me again. And if I committed suicide now, I don't know how many people I would leave. I know I'd be losing my parents. I know I would be losing Tim, and I'd be losing one of my other friends, and I'd be losing the friends that I had online, and they would have never known that I left. Except for the people that are my friends in real life, that I see almost all the time. And my online friends would never know, and I would be leaving my grandma, and I'd be leaving my enemies behind. I know that some of them would miss me, because I know that one of my greatest enemies, I haven't seen him in a long time, but I know if he would have killed himself, I would be so mad. Because he might be an asshole. Like a serious one. I call a lot of people, stupid and assholes and stuff, but this guy is a serious one. And I know if he would have killed himself, I don't know what I would do with myself, because that's just, he doesn't deserve to die. And I don't know why he would have done this. Just a lot of people in the situation that he was in. He was going through the law, and he was about to go to jail or prison. I don't really know, and I don't really know what for, but I know that that's the cause. And I just, a lot of people go through that. A lot of people get stuck in prison for years and never kill themselves, and a lot of them come out okay. A lot of them come out just fine. And what sucks the most for me is that if I cry about him, it's mostly because my friends are crying about him, because, like I said, I didn't know him. And I'm mostly angry because he left the people that I love. And left people that, even though I'm not friends with, that they left. I know them, and he left them. So if you're thinking about suicide, you seriously have to take into context how many people are you're gonna leave, and how many people are gonna be completely heartbroken. Because even your worst enemy that hates you so much, they're gonna miss you. They're gonna they're gonna say, just like me, that they didn't deserve to die, and they're gonna be sorry. And even if you tell them to their face, they're gonna say no, go kill yourself, fuck you. But a lot of people, and a lot of people that don't even know you, that you don't even know, they're gonna go like, oh, holy shit, I would have never expected. I wish I knew them better. I wish I talked to them. I wish I could have helped. And I know a lot of people who try to kill themselves want that. They want people to finally care, but the thing is when people finally get to care, you can never find out whether or not they cared or not. You can never find out whether or not these people are angry at you or sad, or if they're happy about it. And you won't know. And you can't know, because if you ask them, they're gonna say fuck you, or, your friends are gonna say, no, don't do that, like the typical things that usually happen if you ask somebody. But they don't even know until it happens. And then if it happens, then you don't even know if they even cared. And like me, I do care. I do care about my friend. That he wasn't my friend, but I do care that he died. I'm mad at him. I hope he's fucking listening to me because but if you're thinking about killing yourself, just there's so many reasons to live. Because if I would have killed myself at the times that I wanted to, I would have never been with the people I've been with. I would have never seen or talked to the people that I talked to. Talked and talk to. And I know my life isn't all that great, but I don't think I would trade it for anything better. Because if I do, then I will never appreciate what I have, the people that I'm with. Today is February 5th. He died on what day is it? Sunday. He killed himself on the 3rd. And even every year on February 3rd, we're all going to be thinking about him. And we're all going to be really upset. And we'll all probably have to meet up to celebrate his life and for all of us to feel numb. Because when we all hung out on Friday, we were all pretending to be happy. And we all pretended we forgot. And we were pretending to be happy to make each other happy. And then when we finally talked about it, I started crying and everyone else started tearing up, and we just took a moment of silence. But I hope that anyone who is hurting out there, who wants to kill themselves, that you can see it from my perspective, from somebody who didn't even know them. I'm still hurt. And just imagine that if you kill yourself, that there's gonna be someone that you don't really even know that's gonna care. If there's no one in your life that you think that cares, there is always going to be at least one person you can talk to in your life. There's always going to be at least one person who's going to care about you in your whole life. Even if it's just a bartender, even if it's just the person who sells you weed, even if it's just a random your neighbor or something, somebody that you say hi to every day when you walk to work. There's always going to be someone that is going to be there to listen to you. There's always going to be someone that's there to care about you. There's always going to be someone to miss you when you're gone. I think that's the end of this video.